Hey gang, I have just had a little play session with the Power Pack DLC and the Spec 3 update. My initial thoughts after maybe a couple of hours of playing it is that there's a good meaty amount of content that's been added. I'm slightly worried that the Power Pack is mostly filled with practice sessions and qualifying, but I'm really impressed with the level of racing in the Power Pack. So when I first loaded up the Power Pack, I was greeted with a menu of 50 races, and it looks to me like you earn points in the races and use those points to progress through the spider of different races. I really like the concept of earning points to complete the races, but me personally, I won't be able to leave races unfinished, so I'm going to be going ahead and trying to win them all anyway to progress. But it's a nice way of progressing other than just trying to win each race. So the first race at Eigenauerbahn really caught me off guard. I was greeted with a practice session first, which I quickly got to the top of the timing sheet, and then the same with the qualifying. But it was the race that really caught me off guard. The AI, there's been significant strides forward, I would say, with Sophie 3.0. Massive improvement. I was really given a headache by the AI. I was not expecting that. The same was to follow again at Alsace, where I was so off guard, I've just skipped the practice session, went straight into qualifying. I was on the front of the grid, but I was really underestimating how good the AI are now. And in that race, I think I came like 13th or something, where I was just like, whoa, we need to start again and practice and qualify and take this a bit more serious, because things have leveled up. So I really like the Power Pack idea, $24.99. There's obviously a lot of meat for your money there. However, without I've only done a few races, but I can already predict what I'm going to be doing. But what I would say is I really like how the races have been crafted, and I really like how they've been put together. I think it's a lot more fun than it was with just a random mix of cars trying to get from the back to the front of the grid. We've now got tailored races and cars that belong on the grid together. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what other races are in this Power Pack. Obviously, I've only been playing it for a couple of hours. There's not enough time to get through everything. But from what I've seen so far, there's obviously a good chunk of time for your money with the Power Pack. The Power Pack also adds in some creature comfort, some other little bits that we'll go through later in the video. But on the whole, the Power Pack, I am very pleased. I'm mostly pleased with the AI's performance. Whether I can use that in future videos, I probably will be able to, but we'll see going forward. So mostly positive with the Power Pack. Let's move on to Spec 3, where there's also, with Spec 3, I would say there's more. There's probably equal amounts for something you would have got for free anyway, even without paying for the Power Pack. So I don't quite understand what they've done there. To include it all in one pack would make more sense, especially as it's been released on the same day. Let's have a look at Spec 3. The first thing I did in Spec 3 was, of course, head to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in that F3500B in Hills livery. How could you not? It was the most magical experience. I loved ripping that thing around the track. Very difficult to get off of some of the slower corners, but I enjoyed it immensely. That was so inviting to just keep pushing the car further and further, and this was only in time trial. I just want to get a sense of the car and of the track. Really well mapped out, and just really made me feel like I was at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. I really enjoyed that one. Moving on to Yas Marina, where I went in the 296, not the GT3 version, just the standard road car version. I set up a custom race, and obviously Gran Turismo, they just flooded with a mix of cars, so it was just so I had something to race against. But the lighting and the sense of scale, I chose a twilight setting, and the light was just about to dip below the horizon, and the lights were coming on, and there was just like a glow to everything, and I don't know, I just get so excited about Yas Marina at the moment. I don't know if it's because we've got the Formula One wrapping up there at any moment. But yeah, the 296, I can't wait to take some more cars around Yas Marina and see what else it has to unfold. Of course, as well, with Spec 3 update, we've got our 8 new cars that have been added, the Ferrari 296 GT3 and the GTB. The Fiat Panda, the Gran Turismo, the F3500B, which I took around Gilles Villeneuve, that Mainz R34, and then the Mitsubishi FTO, and we can't forget the Renault Espace F1 car. The Renault Espace F1. And of course, we've got the Polestar 5 Performance added in there for good measure, just a bit of advertising on that one. But a very good mix of cars there. Some legends brought back, the F1, the Espace F1. Really nice to see. Finally, an updated GT3, a modern GT3 car being added. What is the hold up with those things? So we've got a new tyre maker in Dunlop to add to the Michelin tyre brand that was added not too long ago. So we've got our 2 circuits added in there, and we've also got, for good measure, Nürburgring Endurance, as I understand it, in reverse, which is going to be an experience. To anyone trying to learn the Nürburgring the correct way, you're going to have to learn it again. Of course, we've got some more circuit experiences as well, so that's going to be some more credits coming our way. A bunch of new events have been added. And then in the cafe, we've also got something called the seasonal menu, which I hope they do mean seasonal, and that we'll constantly see updates to this. Although my 6-star roulette token wasn't really worth it. I think I got 500,000 credits, which there's clearly been no update to the luck of the draw with these roulette tickets, which is really disappointing, because of all the things that you would think could be sorted in this game, that would be one of the easiest, I would imagine. I would rather just see it just be completely random. There's a bunch of new engine swaps that have been added. I'm particularly interested to go and have a look at these Gran Turismo F3500A and B engine swaps. But to be honest, I'm not much of an engine swapper. I'm quite boring and authentic in that way. I like the engine that comes with the package and just using it in its raw form. So maybe with these engine swaps, I should start getting a bit more creative and have a look at those. I'm going to probably start with those F3500s A and B and just see what's going to get added in there. So come down to number 9, the data logger. I think I'm going to have quite a lot of fun with this. I'm known for somewhat spending a lot of time in the menus and digging around and playing with facts and figures and things. So I'm going to get a lot of enjoyment out of the data logger, I think. I'm certainly going to learn a lot. I think there's a lot to be learned. The data logger itself and how to use data effectively, but also comparing it to your friends and other online time trial events and people from around the world. If you can indeed use it on other online players, I need to go and check that. Hopefully you can. And then of course that brings us on to the power pack that was added, which integrates, there it is right there, Gran Turismo's Sophie 3.0 AI. And then following on from that, we've just got other improvements and adjustments, some creature comforts. One in particular was the weekly challenges. Now you can navigate a lot easier coming in and out of races, so that's a nice improvement, not having to go all the way back out to the world map. So my overarching final thoughts with the power pack and the Spec 3 update, I find it a weird mix that we've got paid for DLC and a free update sort of mashed together. I would hate to lock people out of content. That doesn't sit right with me. However, it does feel like I would have got more for my money if this whole thing had been covered under the paid for DLC. We've kind of got content that I would have got for free anyway in the 2 circuits and the 8 cars and all the other improvements. I probably could have survived off of that for some time. So it's an unusual thing to have paid for content alongside free content, and I don't know which one I'm more drawn towards. The power pack, there's certainly going to be a lot to unpack, and there's a good chunk of content there. However, I really love the circuits that have been added, and I love the cars. They're kind of like the new thing. The 50 races, alright, yeah, they've been packaged really well. They seem to be comprised of a lot of circuits and cars that we had already. It's nice that it's been packaged together nicely, but my fear is we're going to be doing a lot of the same tracks and races that we've done countless times before, whereas this free update, the Spec 3 update, there's new cars, there's new tracks, there's new circuit experiences and stuff like that. So it's an odd thing. Would hate to lock people out of content, but if it had been all added into one big package, then I could understand the £25. I'm not going to grumble at it though. New content is very rewarding, especially in these later stages of Gran Turismo 7. It certainly makes my life a lot easier creating content, but overwhelmingly I am pretty impressed. The AI in those races, like I said, really caught me off guard, so I'm gonna have to knuckle down a bit harder than I thought I would have to really get all those 50 races ticked off. As ever, gang, let me know your thoughts. I've only had a couple of hours to play the game, this new update, so if I've got anything wrong, please forgive me. I just wanted to crack a video out and just tell you what I thought, and that's about it. I'll see you on track soon, gang.